That is the sound of a jar of names. We shall get out a name. Can you hear it? There we go, I've got a name. So this video is for everyone, including, but not excluded to, Max Ravage. Right, back in the jar of names you go. So this is a Cup of Tea podcast. This is the cup of tea. And this is the podcast. So first things first, welcome to June. Let's think about that. I nearly said July. But yeah, welcome to June. If you want to skip ahead in this week's podcasts, you can keep looking down in the comment section. It might be there now, it might be there in the future. You can skip to this week's update, this week's topic, this week's question, and this week's goals. But we'll start, as always, with the update. And guess what, guys? I'm back on track, and I am so happy for it. Oh my god, finally done it. I hate it when I fall behind. It's just, I just hate it. I need to think of a better system to stay on track, but I don't know what to do to sort that out. Maybe if I miss any episodes, just leave them, but then I feel like that's unfair. We'll sort it out. But I hate being behind on stuff, but I'm finally caught up, which is great. And because of that, it means I'm sort of caught up for my last weeks of college. I've got 2 weeks left, including this week, and that will mean that I'll have a few essays and stuff to do. I've done my last essay, actually. That was yesterday. That's why this podcast is unfortunately a bit late, because I was finishing that off, and it took longer than I thought. Because it was supposed to be in for today, Tuesday, the 6th, but it got pushed to this Friday, which means yesterday I was doing really well. I was getting it all done. I was like, yeah, this is going to be done. And then when they said they changed it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll do it later. It's horrible. I said to myself, no, I'm going to get it finished. Finish this anyway, but I did just late at night. A lot later than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, that's done. What else is new about college stuff? Which means next week is going to be quite busy, because it's going to be E3 as well. And I may be starting something very, very soon. So I'll be doing that too, which is going to be good. And there's also going to be a new Let's Play starting soon. It's going to be next week. I was going to try and do it for this week, but because I'm busy, I don't want to overburden myself. So I'm going to record the next Let's Play on... I don't know. Oh, on Monday. Next Monday. Ready for the Tuesday. But hopefully the next Let's Play video will be out on the Sunday. That's my goal. And so far I'm sticking to my goals. So hopefully it'll work. Okay. But apart from that, is that everything I need to talk about? I think that's everything for the update, actually. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, topic now then. So let's go on to this week's names. I don't think I actually opened up my document. I think I need to do that now. There we go. Apologise if you can hear some wind. It's very windy at the moment. It was very hot, then it was very rainy, now it's very windy. It's just one of those things. Right, anyway, this week's video is actually out on these days. So happy about that. Well, sort of. I've got the podcast right now. That's what you're listening to. Hello, this is a podcast. And then you're going to have a Dark Chronicle video later today called Distorted. This is because there's a certain word that gets said over and over and over and over and over again throughout the episode, and guess what? It's distorted. Anyway, and then after that we'll have another Dark Chronicle video soon after called Off Course? Of course. Yeah, you might think we're getting to a certain part in the story where a certain sport comes into play, where a course might be involved. Right, and then on Wednesday we'll have another Dark Chronicle video called Drowsy. We come across an enemy who looks just like Drowsy, the Pokemon, which makes me feel like it's actually based on a real mythological thing, but maybe not. And then we'll also have another Dark Chronicle video on Wednesday called Dragon Priests, a little hint to 2 types of enemies we face in this adventure. And then finally, at the end of the week, on Friday, we will get a Dark Chronicle video called Nearly There. Not much happens, we're just nearly at the end of the dungeon. And then after that, we've got another Dark Chronicle video called Construction Work, which you can probably guess what we're doing in terms of the whole game. But that's this week's videos. The Cup of Adventure video this week was a remake that sounds something like remake. So remake, something that rhymes with remake, is cake. I remade my orange layer cake that I made once before, and it turned out a lot better this time. It's all gone, and it lasted like a few days, so it was very nice. Anyway, this week's Cup of Adventure video is a little hint and game for you to play, and no one's been playing them recently, which is a little bit sad, because they're definitely there, and I'm just starting to think, because if no one does it, I start to think I'm doing it too hard so that no one can get it. But this week's one, the letters for the video that we're doing next which is going to be out on Friday, is hidden in the orange layer cake video. All the letters are in the same place. It's a visual one, but if you find them, you just have to rearrange them into a word, and that is the thing we are making for that week. Good luck, adventurers. Right, okay, so now we're going to go on to the community section. We're going to go on to the Mention Monday. So these are the people that commented on last week's video since the last podcast, and this week we thank and welcome to Captain RH, Horia, Bernard Termier, Max Ravage, and Dragonlord 55511. So thank you all for commenting. It's good that we're actually finally back on track so we can actually do things properly now. I like it. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Right, now we're going to go on to the Q&A. We've got 2 questions this week. One is from Horia, who says, question JD, what is your favourite giant robot in all of fiction? Mine is Megas XLR, because chicks dig giant robots. Favourite giant robot in all of fiction? Oh my god. I feel like this should have a really good answer, but I can't think of it at all. Oh, giant robot. Giant robot. Oh, I'm sure there's so many better ones I could go for, but Iron Giant is sticking out in my mind. Always enjoyed that as a kid. I can't think of any other giant robots. What other giant robots are there? There's some much better answers than this, I know there is. Giant robots. That's the only one I can think of. Yeah, I'm going to have to go for the Iron Giant, because I can't really think of anything else at the moment, unfortunately, but I swear there's some better answers I could have chosen. And then Dragonlord 55511 says, hello, sir, JD262. I have a question and a riddle for you. Question, what do you do when you are away from home and get homesick? Simple, I do not leave home. I'm very much a home bird. I like staying at home and doing things. I'm an introvert, so I relax by being on my own. Me and my friend have this sort of like argumentative thing going on. Well, not really, I don't know what you call it, but he's a classic extrovert. He relaxes by talking to people. I'm a classic introvert. I relax by being by myself, and I wouldn't say we clash with it. It's more like it's an interesting dynamic because I can see things that he does, which is classic of an extrovert, and it's just funny because we sort of recognise that. Anyway, apart from that, just always stay in contact if you can. I mean, I'll be going uni soon, and nearly gave away a surprise then. But I'll be going uni soon, and obviously I'm not looking forward to really moving away. I'm coming back every 2 weeks to see my family anyway. I'm going to do like a shift at work here, so my life will pretty much be the same. I'll just be away for a lot longer. And I have lived in someone else's house before, and it was all right. I sort of take the stuff I do at home anyway with me. It's just that knowledge that you're with your family sort of thing. So it kind of sucks in that sense. But I think the best way to cope with it is to take your home with you in a sense. Like, obviously you can't take people with you, but what you would do at home, if you take that with you so you can do it there, that will obviously help. Like, I'll be doing these videos while I'm in uni, so I think that would help me a lot. But like, I'll have that connection and stuff, and I think just, I think that's a good way of doing it. But then I'm an introvert. Again, back to that discussion. If you're an extrovert, you might like to take a friend with you, or stay in contact or something like that. But that's just how I cope. Anyway, and the riddle is: you can call me a home, but I have no doors. Someone lives inside me, but leaves when there is no more. What am I? Hint: it is the type of food that you can boil, fry, saute, scramble, poach, baked in a cake, and cooked many other ways. Gollum likes his wet and crunchy, which his grandmother taught him to suck them. Yes, it is eggs. Yes, it is. It is eggs. Yes, it is. It is. It's egg or eggs. Doesn't really think it really matters though, the difference between egg and eggs. Right, let's go on to subscribers then. So last week we were at 1,339. This week we have gone up 4 names to 1,343. That is impressive. Yeah. I've lost my train of thought. Yes, that's the one. That's what we're saying. Yes, but this week we welcome 1 new name to the community, and this week we welcome Ren Armgard. So thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the community. What's your favourite type of eggs? Scrambled, sautéed, fried, boiled, baked in a cake? Let me know. Okay, so now we're going to go on to question. So last week's question was about my voice. Do I speak too fast? Do you prefer slow or fast? Blah, 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 blah. We've got quite a lot of responses, and I like them because they're quite lengthy. So we've got one from Captain RH who says, about your speech, I would say stick to what you are most comfortable with. It would be a shame if you would have to think about how to talk while playing a game. Would make it infinitely more difficult for you. It's not that there's a problem following with all that you're saying, although the video especially you felt slightly more rushed than usual. But yeah, in short, no real preference for me. Yes, so I think in terms of me, it's not really much of a problem because I'll often find when I'm playing a game, anyway, I think, do I talk slowly or fast? What's better? Sometimes you might be able to see this. I think naturally I talk more fast. Like when I'm proper into something, I talk fast like this. And I think personally for me, I feel more comfortable with that. So I think in that sense, I would do that. But Horia says, some say you talk too quick. I watch most of your videos at times 1.5 speed anyway. Good man. I'm sort of similar to you when I'm watching videos. Like so I think this happens a lot of times with YouTubers and stuff. When you watch people, like you feel like you're obliged to watch them. Like you enjoy watching them, but sometimes these videos can be quite long. So I think because people are so busy in lives that they watch them at 1.5 speed anyway to sort of get them done quicker, even though they do enjoy them. It's very strange because I do the same with other YouTubers, and it's actually quite funny, Horia, because me and you are very similar in that sense because I also watch my own videos at 1.5 speed when I'm editing them because that way it's quicker, and I hate my sound of my own voice and editing. Well, I don't hate editing, but it's my least favourite part. And then Bernard Tamir says, I haven't noticed that you talked so quickly. This video sounds a little rushed, but you were in a hurry. I don't think it is a good thing that you change your speaking speed. This is due to the fact that you think about what you are saying and how this will result in a more thoughtful speaking, what makes it probably boring because it isn't spontaneous. So, I mean, I always think about what I'm saying anyway. Like, I'll never, come out and be like, say something I haven't thought about first. I'm quite slow and cautious in that sense. But what were the other things you said? About the spontaneous thing where I'm thinking about planning out and stuff. I mean, yes, I do agree with that. It's a problem I have with Couple of Adventure because I write scripts for Couple of Adventure, not scripts, but like notes about what I'm going to say, just because I think, it's better. That way I have a direction to go rather than just like, what do I say? And it's going to go on forever. But I have that problem with it being sounded too scripted and not spontaneous. So I'm trying to change that. I think recently I've been quite good with it. Like I'm sort of taking my own direction, which I think I'm getting better at. But that's what I want to try and do with Couple of Adventure. That's why I need to do a whole overhaul of everything. Just increase it, make it better. So that's what I'm going to do with Couple of Adventure. I'm going to try and make them more of a personal journey rather than a scripted video. But then that's because I come from a video scripted place anyway in terms of my media stuff I do. And then Max Ravage says, you don't talk too fast in my opinion. I can completely understand everything you say, even as a foreigner whose first language is something else than English. My preference to people speaking fast or slow honestly depends on their accents. Some people might have so heavy accents it's hard to understand them if they talk too fast. So that's the whole thing I was worried about. Like maybe I talk too fast, people can't understand me. And I know sometimes I do slur my speech because I've got I don't know what you want to call it, speech impediment or whatever it is. But sometimes I feel like I do that. So I was a bit worried that might be the problem. And so that's why I've asked you a follow-up question, Max, to see what you think of my accent in terms of that sense. But it's good that you can follow along, so it means maybe that you don't actually think that, but we'll see. Anyway, this week's question, haven't got one, but I've been thinking that I've spent a few while trying to figure out something for next year, and I need to think about it in the next 2 weeks or so. But I'm trying to think of something I can reveal next year that will sort of take a whole year to build up to. But I don't know what I could reveal. Like, do I reveal a certain video type that I want to do? If so, what do I talk about? Do I reveal something that's going to happen in my life? Like I know, for example, with the uni, I might be able to go abroad to study there. So do I do that as like a reveal about where I'm going? But then I don't know if that's next year or the year after. So I'm trying to figure out what I could reveal next year. So I'm asking you guys, is there anything you think is a good idea to reveal? Like a certain video idea or something that's happening in my life, or because I thought another option I had as well was, by this time next year I want to have done this and this, but then I kind of feel like that's a bit more like a New Year'sy thing rather than a anniversary type thing. So yeah, let me know what you think if you've got any ideas, and we'll just theory craft in the comments. And I really need to go away and think about this because it's bugging me, so it needs to be sorted. Anyway, now we can talk about this week's comment, or this week's theme, I suppose we should say. more of a comment, but it is sort of a theme as well. But it goes to Max Ravage, who said, "Tower, huh? You might be possessed by an evil spirit of an evil overlord." Yes, so this is sort of a theme because in the games I play, I always say, "Oh, take him back to the tower, go back to the tower," whenever I say it to my base. So it might not be a tower. I think in the Dark Chronicle I mean it as the train. I call it a tower because it all stems down from Overlord. You know, you can always, what is it I said? You can always, you can leave the tower, but the tower never truly leaves you, you know? So I thought that was quite funny because it's like, that's true. I like my tower. I miss my towers. If I had an evil castle, it would be a tower. Anyway, so then we're going to go on to goals. So last week's goals were to edit the Dark Chronicle videos for this week, which I've done, which is good, and to finish off the last video for quarter 2, which I've done. So I've actually got a win, a proper flipping win this week, and I'm so glad about it, and I'm caught up, so it's all great, which is perfect. But what is next week's thingy-bob goals? That's the one. Well, I've already said already that I want to get the next Let's Play video up by Sunday, or on Sunday. I'm going to say early Monday, because that's usually how my Sundays work, you know. I always work late into the night, into the early morning. So that's the goal for that. But I'm also going to add another one, is I want to sort of develop my quarter 3 videos for Cuphead Adventure. I've already got the ideas that I want to do, because I've already started doing this. But I actually want to make a fully scheduled list. Like, I've got some things planned, but the dates are a little bit funky and need arranging properly. So, yeah, that's what I want to get done by next week. That's sorted, the schedule of what's going to happen. And then we can start making those documents ready for July. Which, you know, hopefully we'll get it done. Okay, but that is it now this week. So, last week's What Film, or whatever it was, yes it is the What Film, was from Aladdin, and Bernard Tamir got it right. Now, I haven't actually got one for this week, so I better quickly find one. Find a film. Look on Twitter, see what I can find. Okay, I've got one. Right, so, yeah, so I'll just finish a cup of tea now. Even though it's pretty much empty anyway, but still, it's good fun. Right then, so now I will say until the next time we meet, farewell. But until then, I will leave you with What Film? Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape!